I was his doormat for 5 whole years. During that time, I poured my heart and soul into the relationship, catering to his every whim, only to be met with one disappointment after another. Just take the latest incident. For the 10th time, he texted me late at night, his tone as if he were ordering a subordinate, telling me to bring him a set of condoms. Staring at my phone screen, a wave of indignation surged through me. Did he truly not realize how much I had given him over those 5 years? It was always me taking the initiative, me trying to please him, while he remained like a stone that refused to warm up. This time, I had truly reached my breaking point. Like a dormant volcano suddenly erupting, I awakened completely. I broke up with him directly, without the slightest hesitation. After the breakup, I immediately went on a blind date. I just refused to believe that I couldn't find someone better without him. And sure enough, I did. This blind date's last name was also Gu, but his name was Marcus. He was incredibly handsome, with sharp eyebrows and bright eyes, and an air of confidence. Unlike, Marcus always put me first. If I said east, he would never go west. With him, I truly experienced what it felt like to be valued and cherished. After dating for some time, I felt we were a good match, so I decided to get married. I excitedly announced my wedding news widely, wanting everyone to know that I could live a happy and fulfilling life even after leaving that jerk. But to my surprise, Carter, that arrogant man, scoffed disdainfully when he heard the news, his eyes filled with contempt. He strode over to me and said, with a taunting tone, "When did I agree to marry you? Don't flatter yourself." I rolled my eyes at him and ignored him. But he wouldn't drop it, continuing, "You gave me the silent treatment for a month. Was that just your way of trying to force me to marry you? Humph, keep dreaming." He still seemed quite pleased with himself, believing I couldn't live without him, and shamelessly added, "However, seeing as you've been with me for so many years, I suppose I could give you a title. But you have to accept me being with Tiffany. She's the woman I love most in this life. You'd be nothing more than a decoration." Hearing his words, a cold laugh rose within me. This man was absolutely shameless. Yet, I feigned enthusiasm and suddenly lunged at him. He flinched, about to kick me away, when he saw me already locked in a tight embrace with another man. I looked up, triumphantly, and introduced loudly, "Allow me to introduce you, this is Marcus, my husband." During the first month after Carter and I started the silent treatment, fate played a trick on me, and I ran into him by chance at a restaurant. At that moment, his group was about to leave. When they saw me, they instantly erupted, whistling in unison at Carter. "Carter's still the boss, he actually summoned her here." "Of course, he is. You haven't seen how many years Luna has chased Carter, how could she not come?" Carter's gaze immediately fell on the 2 iced teas I was carrying. As if nothing was amiss, he casually took them. His previously sullen face instantly became smug, a mocking smile playing on his lips. "Luna, you truly are my #1 doormat. That social media post of mine? It's only visible to you, on social media." As soon as he said that, the entire table erupted in laughter, the sound extremely grating. Even joined in, picking apart the iced tea and remarking sarcastically, "Thank you. You even did your homework and knew I prefer lightly sweetened." Suppressing my anger, I pulled out my phone and opened Carter's latest social media post, which had been in my blacklist for a long time. It boldly displayed a location tag. "Tiffany got spicy food, urgently needs an iced tea. Hope the doormat can arrive in 10 minutes. Seeing that social media post, an unnamed rage instantly flared within me. I reached out to snatch back the 2 iced teas, declaring loudly, "Give them back. These are for my boyfriend." Carter's friends burst into laughter, one of them quipping, "Carter, after a month, you've become her boyfriend?" Carter was so furious his teeth were practically grinding. He roared, his face beet red, "What boyfriend? Don't talk nonsense here." Then he yelled at me, "It's just an iced tea. Don't flatter yourself. If you keep spouting nonsense, I'll never talk to you again." My heart lurched, severely provoked by his shameless face. I raised my hand and flipped the iced tea over. With a splash, the broken cup scattered iced tea, splattering onto Tiffany's pristine white dress. She immediately covered her mouth, whimpering and crying, "This is my new dress." Carter grabbed me viciously, shouting, "Apologize. You're getting bolder, daring to splash Tiffany." I reacted quickly, kicking him in the leg again. He winced in pain and released me, his eyes wide with shock. His friends nearby immediately started teasing again, "Carter, what's wrong with you? She rushed here to bring you iced tea, and you're not even nice to her. Be careful, this doormat might give you the silent treatment again." Another round of grating laughter. Carter's eyes darted around, then rolled, as if something occurred to him. He then adopted a condescending attitude, saying sarcastically, "I know you're jealous of Tiffany, but I can't help it, she's the only one in my heart. If you're obedient and want a title, I can still give you one, but you'll never get my heart." Just then, I saw a car pull up across the street, and Marcus stepped out. I was about to explain the chaotic situation before me when Tiffany, wiping away tears, whined again that she was cold. Without a word, Carter took off his jacket, carefully wrapped it around her wet spot, then gave her a bridal carry. Amidst everyone's cheers, he strutted out confidently. Before leaving, he didn't forget to warn me, "Tiffany's birthday party is the day after tomorrow. Remember Oh, come early to help prepare the venue." Marcus immediately saw the anger on my face and apologized for getting stuck in traffic. Then, like a puppy, he whimpered and flirted around me. He made me laugh, and I only then realized a necklace had appeared around my neck. On closer inspection, it was the exact one I had added to my online shopping cart 2 days prior. I looked at the handsome man before me, my heart softening. I softly said, "What you said about getting married last time, I can do it." Hearing my words, Marcus first froze, then reconfirmed multiple times, tears of excitement glimmering in his eyes. Once he calmed down, he feigned composure and said, "I should be proposing to you with a diamond ring. I have to go on a business trip for a few days. When I get back, I'll give you a grand proposal ceremony, okay?" I nodded gently. He was so excited that night he couldn't sleep well, meticulously planning out the entire wedding process. My family already knew our wedding date, so I simply announced my wedding widely, sending out wedding invitations. To protect privacy, I only revealed the last name on the invitations. Carter somehow heard about my wedding and immediately called, his tone mocking. "Luna, I only agreed to give you a title if you behaved well, but I never said I'd marry you. You're so desperate to spread news of marrying me, have you no shame?" I heard the laughter of his friends on the other end of the phone. "Marriage is pretty good, isn't it? Get a free wife, someone to do housework and cook for you after work every day." Exactly. Anyway, as long as your heart is with Tiffany, what's the difference if you get married or not? It's good to have one more person to take care of both of you, isn't it? Carter's tone finally softened, and he pretended to be generous, saying, "All right, fine. I can't give you a wedding, so go arrange it yourself. Just don't make it too ostentatious." I retorted sharply, "I never said I was marrying you. Aurea. Do I have a fiancé?" The laughter on the other end grew louder. Oh, she's shy. Carter, why don't you go coax her? She's willing to marry you for free." Before they could finish, I hung up. Wasting time with these idiots was utterly pointless. Carter immediately posted on his social media, "So nervous, becoming a groom next month. The doormat insisted on marrying me, what should I do?" The comment section instantly turned into chaos, with all sorts of teasing and mocking comments appearing one after another. I put him back on the blacklist. I couldn't help but curse myself. To think I was a doormat for this kind of man for 5 years, I really was a glutton for punishment. Even though Marcus was away on a business trip, he was meticulous about the wedding preparations. His event venue specifically invited me to review the wedding supplies. I was carrying several different wedding favor boxes, wanting to try out their effect on the tables, when I unexpectedly ran into Carter walking in, with Tiffany in his arm. Our eyes met. Carter was the first to curl his lips into that familiar mocking smile. "Oh, I thought you weren't coming. Weren't you so principled? You blocked all my numbers, didn't reply to my texts. If you have such backbone, why are you here?" Shamelessly. I frowned in annoyance, wanting to walk past them, but Carter noticed the wedding favors in my hand. Tiffany's eyes darted, and she squeezed out a few more tears, saying pitifully, "Sister, did you specially come to discuss the wedding with Carter?" "I'm sorry, I'm just in the way. I'll leave now." Carter immediately pulled her back, coaxing her softly, then chastised me, "My agreeing to marry you is already the greatest favor. Today is Tiffany's birthday party, don't harbor any ill intentions." As he spoke, he pulled out a ring and carefully slid it onto Tiffany's finger, saying passionately, "Tiffany, don't bother arguing with this woman. My heart will always be yours. Even if I get married, you'll still be the woman I love most." His friends behind him started cheering, "Marry him! Marry him!" Tiffany looked at me, full of triumph, her eyes seeming to say, "What do you have that can compare to me?" Normally, I would have cried in anger, demanding to know what I lacked compared to her. But today, I remained utterly indifferent, not even a flicker in my eyes. It was Carter who grew restless first, saying, "It's rare for you not to be jealous today." I cast a cold glance at everyone present and retorted, why would I be jealous? I don't even think you love her that much, you didn't even consider marrying her for something as important as marriage. Tiffany's face instantly went pale, and she burst into tears again. Carter hurried to comfort her, then commanded me in an ill-tempered tone, Luna, apologize at once. I glared at him and turned to leave. He grabbed my wrist, a flicker of panic in his expression. Perhaps because I used to leave angrily, making a fuss, my directness today left them unsure of what to do. Someone tried to mediate, let it go, let it go. Today's a happy occasion, don't let anything spoil it. Exactly. Since you're here, why not stay for the birthday meal? We'll all be family soon. I realized that if I refused, Carter wouldn't let me go. So, I followed them into the private room. The waiter wheeled in a 3-tier cake. Tiffany excitedly thanked Carter. I can't believe you actually remembered what I said in passing. Carter affectionately patted her head, naturally. Wouldn't want to have to call Luna to buy you a cake last minute again, like last time. Last time Tiffany had her birthday, Carter forcefully cut off my video call, making me brave a rainstorm and cross half the city to deliver a cake to them. I fell on the way, and the cake was ruined. By the time I reached the destination, they had already finished their party and were about to leave for the next one. As for the cake, it was naturally tossed into the trash can without a second thought. Bringing it up now was clearly meant to humiliate me. Tiffany quickly offered to cut me a slice of cake, saying I had worked hard before. She clumsily cut it, deliberately slicing her finger. Carter immediately leaned in to check, gently blowing on her finger. Their breaths mingled, and in the increasingly close space, they were about to kiss. I broke their intimate moment with a click. Covering my phone camera, I forced a smile and said, couldn't resist taking a picture of you two. It'd make a great matching profile picture. Consider it my birthday gift to the birthday girl. I have something to do, I'm leaving now. Carter chased after me, grabbing me tightly, his tone aggressive. Luna, don't get carried away just because I agreed to marry you after a month of silent treatment, and try to get my attention this way. I'm warning you, if Tiffany wasn't someone against marriage, I wouldn't even consider marrying you. I coldly shook off his hand, took out my phone, and showed him a photo. Let me say it again, I'm not marrying you. We have no relationship anymore. Carter only paused for a moment, then his eyes filled with scorn. Is it really necessary? Do you think I'll change my mind if you just find some random guy to provoke me? He took a step closer, his hot breath directly on my face. Playing hard to get won't work on me. If you want to marry me, go back and celebrate Tiffany's birthday obediently. To me, she'll always be number one. I slapped him hard across the face. You're insane. He yelled furiously behind me, with that attitude, don't expect to get married. I didn't even look back, leaving directly. Tiffany uncharacteristically texted me, Sister, we genuinely invited you to dinner today, but you were so disrespectful. Carter is really angry. I know you're jealous that Carter likes me, but you can't force feelings. If you keep causing trouble, Carter might really ignore you. So annoying. I forgot to put her on the black lie. St2. To make Carter face reality, every few days I posted updates about Marcus and my preparations on my social media. I knew some nosy friend would surely share them with him. Marcus had a minor issue with his business, and his business trip was extended. He bought me many gifts to appease me and asked me to help him check on the custom suit he had ordered before his trip. After seeing the finished product, I couldn't help but take a picture and post it on my social media. I couldn't wait to see Marcus wearing that suit. The sales assistant told me to come back the next day to pick it up, as it needed one more round of maintenance. I purposely timed my arrival, but unexpectedly, I saw Carter and Tiffany again. The two were inseparable, practically about to kiss. Carter glanced at the bag in my hand with a hint of disdain, then told Tiffany, go pick out any style you want. Then he turned to me and said, Tiffany doesn't like the one you chose. It needs to be remade. Even the sales associate looked at the three of us in confusion, unsure what was going on with this relationship. After he finished speaking, he pretentiously told the sales assistant, I want something even more expensive and better than this. A hint of awkwardness flashed across the sales associate's face, then she politely replied, Sir, the gown Ms. Luna is holding was created by our most renowned designer and senior master tailor, and it's priced at $7,990,000. So far, no other gown has exceeded that price. Carter's eyes instantly widened, as if he couldn't believe his ears. How much? Are you sure you heard that right? Then, he abruptly turned to me, his face filled with disbelief. Luna, how could you possibly have so much money to buy such an expensive gown? I couldn't take it anymore. A surge of anger rushed to my head, and I roared, because my fiancé is rich, alright? You don't deserve to wear this suit. What? You didn't actually find a ch man to arrange our wedding, did you? You're going to such extremes. Carter's words made my head spin, as if the whole world was spinning around me. How could a person be so shameless? And just then, Tiffany added fuel to the fire, feigning concern. Sister, please don't do anything illegal just to get Carter. We'd all be embarrassed because of you. I raised my hand and, without hesitation, delivered a resounding slap across her face. Seeing this, Carter immediately rushed forward to defend her. However, several tall models appeared just in time, forcibly escorting these two disgraceful individuals away. Excuse me, if you are not making a purchase here, we unfortunately cannot welcome you at this time, the sales associate said politely but firmly. Carter's face fluctuated between green and white, finally nodding at me with a mix of condescension and resentment. Fine, considering all the trouble you've gone to, I agree to wear this suit on the wedding day. I rolled my eyes, thinking, who needs your approval? I never want to be involved with this kind of person ever again. Marcus finally returned from his business trip. I meticulously prepared myself, then went to the airport to greet him. However, as soon as I stepped out, Carter dragged me into his car. Tiffany was also in the car, looking at me triumphantly. Carter grinned and instructed me, I already know you're going to propose to me today. But before you do, I must propose to Tiffany first, she is the love of my life. Tiffany, looking coy, feigned shyness and said, Sister, please don't be angry. Carter just wants to give me a complete proposal experience. Carter continued to prod me, looking smug, don't embarrass me later. If you dare to cause any trouble, I won't accept your proposal today. It took a long time for my brain to process it. This man is truly shameless. How could anyone actively expect someone else to propose to them? I patiently explained it multiple times, but they simply wouldn't listen, absorbed in their own self-satisfaction. Carter even tapped the steering wheel like a drum, saying as he tapped, don't be shy. Even though it's traditionally the man who proposes to the woman, if you propose to me, I won't let you lose face. I said I'd marry you, and I won't go back on my word. I tried to call Marcus for help, but Carter snatched my phone away. You need to focus at a time like this. From now on, you're to serve Tiffany and me completely. Otherwise, I won't accept your proposal, he declared arrogantly. I knew that with his narcissistic personality, any further explanation would be futile. So, I had no choice but to follow them to the proposal location. I heard the place was booked out, and no outsiders were allowed entry. Carter roughly pushed me, yelling, hurry up and let Tiffany and me go in. I looked at him confused, but the staff courteously began to usher me inside. Only then did I realize that Marcus must have booked the venue for his proposal, and Carter had misunderstood. Seeing the staff's warmth towards me, he grew displeased and protested loudly, this woman you're inviting in is my doormat. Why can't I go in? The staff looked constipated. I shook my head at them, trying to indicate I had nothing to do with Carter. Seeing my lack of cooperation, Carter became even more frantic, threatening me, his face beet red. Luna, if you don't give up the venue, your proposal tonight will be a complete joke. I shrugged, saying indifferently, who cares? My proposal has nothing to do with you anyway. People were coming and going on the street, and some had already noticed the argument. Seeing that I wasn't being cooperative, Carter directly knelt on one knee, pulled out a ring, and loudly declared, even if you don't let me in, I'll still propose to Tiffany. Such petty tricks won't stop my love for Tiffany. Carter's heartfelt declaration attracted many passers-by, who started watching and recording. Tiffany, dressed elegantly, covered her face, crying, and in the midst of the cheers, she nodded and said, yes, I will. The atmosphere was lively, and Tiffany didn't forget to flaunt her new ring at me. Sister, thank you for being our witness today. I will definitely attend your wedding too. Carter perfunctorily pulled me back, whispering in my ear, you can propose at home, don't make a spectacle of yourself out here. Just then, a familiar shout brought me back to reality. Marcus strode towards me with long strides, pulling me into his embrace and gently saying, I couldn't reach you earlier, I was worried something happened to you on the way. Carter was visibly displeased by his intimate gesture, stammering, who is that? Marcus looked him over, then knelt on one knee, pulled out a diamond ring 10 times larger than Carter's, and said passionately, Luna, will you marry me? The large display screen suddenly flashed words of love for me, and a series of neat drones flew into the sky, forming a merry formation of drones. The gasps from passers-by grew louder, and we became the center of attention. I noticed Carter's gaze never left me. Overcome with joy, I uttered the 3 words, "Yes, I will." The cheers from the crowd were even louder than before. Everyone was praising us as a perfect match. Carter's eyes were fixated, and he didn't even care when Tiffany, trembling, said she was cold. From the moment Marcus appeared, my gaze remained solely on him. Carter had probably never been so ignored by me before, so he waited until most people had dispersed before calling out to me as I was about to leave. He spoke with a complicated expression. "Is it really necessary? Did you specifically hire an actor to put on a show with you?" Marcus tightly clasped my hand, retorting with a mocking tone, "Sir, is it because we stole the spotlight from your proposal?" Carter angrily tried to pull me away with force. Marcus simply pushed him casually, and he stumbled. Tiffany shrieked, demanding to know why we air hitting him, and passers-by looked over. Marcus's eyes were cold, and his tone firm. "Please mind your manners, sir. If you touch my fiancé again, don't blame me for not being polite." Someone craned their neck, whispering to their companion. Seeing that I had no intention of leaving with him, and not daring to prolong the fight, Carter pulled Tiffany towards the car without any gentlemanly grace. He rolled down the car window and didn't forget to throw one last sentence at me. "Luna, you'll see eventually that you've gone too far." I awkwardly tried to explain to Marcus what I had done before. Until our direct confrontation, I had carefully hidden that unsavory past. I was afraid Marcus would look down on me. Who knew he would just gently ruffle my hair, then press a soft kiss on it? Actually, I already knew. "I'm sorry I wasn't there every time you were bullied. From now on, you have me as your rock." I moved into Marcus's home. He had already prepared everything for me, and our daily lives were happy and fulfilling. He said, "You gave too much to Carter before. Now it's your turn to enjoy life." I often woke up in the middle of the night, only to fall into a warm embrace. With a man like him by my side, I looked forward to our wedding day every day. The next time I ran into Carter was because a mutual friend was so annoyed by him. "What happened between you and Carter? He keeps asking us every day who you're marrying," my friend asked, exasperated. I suddenly remembered the unfamiliar texts I'd been receiving every few days. So, it was Carter harassing me? He's absolutely crazy. I willingly let him have Tiffany, and he's still interfering with my private life? I replied to each friend, dispelling their notion that I would marry Carter. From then on, Carter ceased to exist in my life. A few days later, Carter found out where I lived. That day, I had just stepped out when he blocked my path, insisting we needed to talk. I glanced at my phone impatiently and "Aid, just say what you need to say. I'm busy preparing for my wedding, I don't have time to waste with you." He heard me, and his face instantly showed hurt. "Shouldn't you be preparing for the wedding with me?" he asked with a hint of lament. I scoffed, retorting, "Why would I be with you? I already have a fiancé." "Impossible." He clutched his hair in anguish, as if that could ease his inner torment. "You were just putting on an act to make me jealous, weren't you?" A glimmer of expectation flashed in his eyes. "All right, I admit your plan worked. I'm willing to prepare for the wedding with you now, okay?" I coldly took a step back, evading his attempt to approach, finding him utterly baffling. "I'm already living with my fiancé, and you still think I'm acting? I don't have that much free time to play these games with you." He silently looked at the apartment complex behind me, as if suddenly understanding something. He instantly collapsed, shouting, "Why are you living with him? How long have you even known him? And you're getting married? Aren't you being incredibly irresponsible with your life?" I listened, completely confused, and retorted, "What else? Should I have continued to be your doormat, following you around, for that to be considered responsible with my life?" His eyes suddenly reddened, and he forcefully grabbed my wrist, as if afraid I'd run away. "Luna, you were the one who first pursued me." His voice trembled. "You've liked me for 5 years, why aren't you marrying me?" I laughed, a little sarcastically. "You know I liked you for 5 years? In those 5 years, you always saw me as nothing more than a bothersome doormat. So, I'll grant your wish and build a family with someone else. I'll never interfere with your relationships again." He became extremely distraught, his grip tightening as if he wanted to crush me. "You were lying to me, weren't you? You just wanted me to be with you, so you deliberately gave me the silent treatment and found meown to put on an act." He mumbled to himself, then suddenly changed his demeanor. "It's okay, I forgive you. As long as you come with me now, I won't hold your deceit against you. And I'll even wear the suit you bought me for the wedding. If you don't want to see Tiffany, I can also make sure she doesn't appear in front of you." I stared at him in disbelief, only feeling disgusted that 5 years of my affections had been wasted on such a person. "No need. No matter what you say now, I have no feelings for you anymore, and I'm not marrying you, I said unequivocally. How can that be? You clearly loved me desperately. He forcefully tried to lean in to kiss me. Just then, Marcus appeared, delivering a punch to his nose, causing blood to immediately stream down. Carter, I told you not to lay a hand on my fiancé again. Marcus glared furiously. Seeing again, Carter's eyes reddened with anger, and he roared, what fiancé of yours? When she was chasing me, you didn't even know where you were. I'm warning you, this is my girlfriend. Don't you dare have ulterior motives towards her. Oh, this was the first time he had so brazenly acknowledged me as his girlfriend. Unfortunately, the timing and context were all wrong, only making me feel disgusted. Marcus pulled me closer, facing him with a sharp gaze. I've already heard about your antics, but it's the first time I've known someone so rotten-hearted would have the audacity to try and steal my fiancé. Carter clenched his fists, his eyes burning with indignation. He was like a tantrum-throwing child, repeatedly clamoring that I was his. Marcus landed several more punches, making him stumble backward. Afraid of things escalating, I rushed forward to stop him. Stop hitting him. Carter looked at me expectantly, licked the blood from the corner of his mouth, and was about to speak. But the next second, I completely ignored him, taking Marcus's hand and turning to leave. We're getting married soon, let's not cause any trouble. Carter's eyes completely darkened, as if all light had left them. His phone kept ringing. I saw it was a call from Tiffany. But he, who usually answered immediately, pressed decline several times, silently watching us leave. From then on, Carter never appeared again. I actually heard that Marcus used some minor tactics, but I didn't care. Many friends still came to confirm with me, who are you actually marrying? Why does Carter drink with us every day and complain about you being stolen when he gets drunk? I heard he was in a state of heartbreak, unable to find interest in life, not even with Tiffany. Another time, he drank so much that he had a stomach hemorrhage and was hospitalized. I just shook my head, sighing to myself, people truly are gluttons for punishment. When I was at his beck and call, he barely spared me a glance. Now that I'm taken, he's acting like a deeply wounded, heartbroken person. It's a good thing everyone witnessed my devotion to him before, otherwise, I'd be the scandalous woman. Time flew by, and soon it was the day of Marcus's and my wedding. I was filled with joy, waiting to be picked up, when suddenly a commotion erupted at the entrance. Carter had come crashing the wedding. He was wearing a suit reserved for weddings, and despite everyone's attempts to stop him, he knelt on one knee, holding the same ring he had used to propose to Tiffany. Luna, I've reflected on myself during this time and I know I was wrong. Don't marry that man, we're the perfect match, he cried out desperately. I was so annoyed. My long-awaited wedding was being ruined by him again. My bride's family and friends noticed my displeasure, and several people started pulling him away. He clung desperately to the doorframe, refusing to move. Let me finish what I have to say. I didn't want to cause too much of a scene on my wedding day, so I agreed. He eagerly stated his position. Luna, you've only known him for a few months, and there's so much you haven't. He deeply understood. If you marry now, you'll definitely regret it later. But I know all your preferences. You don't like cilantro, you love strawberries for fruit, you prefer thick yogurt, and you don't like rainy days. You also know everything about me. If you just switch the groom to me, you'll definitely live a happy life. I scoffed, refuting his narcissism. It took you 5 years to learn my preferences, while Marcus learned them all in a single day. Moreover, I know everything about him too. We are a better match than you. Sometimes, 5 years of acquaintance just means you're not a match. He panicked instantly, shaking his head rapidly. No, it's not like that. I used to neglect your feelings, but I'll definitely make it up to you now. I didn't want to listen to his nonsense anymore, and my friends and family directly drove him away. After picked me up in the car, Carter suddenly reappeared from somewhere, clinging tightly to the car, refusing to move. I'd rather die here today than let you two get married, he cried out desperately. Seeing that we would miss the ceremony time, the driver executed a sharp swerve, and Carter was sent sprawling onto the ground like a rag doll, unable to get up for a while. Marcus waved his hand, I'll cover the medical expenses. The wedding venue was filled with a peaceful, lively atmosphere. After the officiant finished the blessings, as Marcus and I were exchanging wedding rings, I was suddenly shoved hard by a figure. Luckily, Marcus quickly grabbed me, preventing a fall into the champagne tower, which could have had unimaginable consequences. Tiffany, dressed in a staff uniform, pointed a finger at my face and unleashed a torrent of abuse. You wretched woman. Who gave you permission to marry him? Weren't you supposed to marry Carter? It's all your fault for not marrying Carter, now he doesn't want me. You deliberately want to see me humiliated. I'm going to kill you. Staff members immediately pulled Tiffany away. I couldn't help but retort sarcastically, weren't you not planning to marry him anyway? If it's because of me, then it seems your relationship wasn't that strong to begin with. Enraged by my words, her eyes reddened as she continued to hurl the most malicious curses at me. Marcus anxiously covered my ears. I'm sorry, he said apologetically. I didn't expect her to sneak in disguised as staff. With him as my unwavering support, I didn't feel hurt at all. So, I smiled and mockingly invited Tiffany to join the celebration. Since you're already here, don't be shy. She didn't appreciate the gesture. The moment the staff released her, she lunged at me, intending to hit me with a bottle. The expected glass shards didn't fall. For some reason, Carter had returned. He shielded me from the attack, then roughly dragged Tiffany outside. For are you insane? How dare you lay a hand on Luna? I'm telling you, I will never let this go, and I'll make you pay for it. Tiffany was crying tears, roaring with all her might, looking as if she wanted to vent all her rage and resentment. Carter, you were never like this before. What kind of spell has this vicious woman cast on you? Why are you suddenly so cruel to me? Shouldn't I be the only one in your heart? Tiffany questioned tearfully, her eyes filled with confusion and hurt. Carter, his face full of disdain, responded coldly, why would I love you? Only now have I truly realized how foolish I was to ever like a woman who dates multiple people. It's all your fault. All of it. You made me lose the best girl. And you still have the nerve to question me? The more Carter spoke, the more agitated he became, his eyes seeming to blaze with fury. I silently turned my gaze to Marcus, who gave me a playful smile, as if waiting for my praise. I immediately understood, it seemed he was the one who dug up all that information. Otherwise, Carter and Tiffany, who were so inseparable, wouldn't have turned on each other so quickly. Tiffany cried out, claiming she was the one being harassed, trying to excuse herself. Carter's face turned ashen with rage as he roared, do you dare to call the police and confront me right now? I'd like to see who's truly being unreasonable. Upon hearing this, Tiffany recoiled in fear, then indignantly turned her anger towards me, spewing insults. Seeing this, Carter, unable to contain his fury, shoved Tiffany to the ground and began to beat her fiercely. The scene immediately erupted into chaos, with shouts of alarm and the sounds of fighting intermingling. In the midst of this pandemonium, Carter suddenly blacked out and collapsed. Soon, ambulances and police cars arrived with sirens wailing. Despite all the chaos, the wedding miraculously proceeded through all its stages without a hitch. During the toasting, Marcus secretly apologized to me, his cautious demeanor completely unlike his usual composed self. I looked at him, my heart full of emotion. This man, outwardly stern, possessed a unique tenderness within. I softly said, it's all right. This wedding has become unforgettable for me, and you were wonderful. Hearing my words, he finally laughed with relief. After the wedding, Carter and Tiffany's argument at the police station was also drawing to a close. It turned out Carter had previously broken his arm, and during the confrontation with Tiffany at the scene, the unbearable pain had caused him to pass out. Out of revenge, he insisted that Tiffany had broken his arm. Seeing the pair who were once inseparable now tearing each other apart, accusing each other like a dog-eat-dog fight, filled one with a sense of regret and irony. Ultimately, Tiffany was detained for 3 days, and Carter didn't even spare her a glance, as if she were an irrelevant stranger. Carter walked up to us, dejected. He gazed at me for a long time, his eyes filled with complex emotions. Finally, he lowered his head and softly asked, tell me, do I still have a chance? I smiled faintly and countered, you should have a chance to wait for her to get out, shouldn't you? Marcus chuckled at my reply, while Carter stood there, utterly shell-shocked, unable to even cry. Luna, please trust me just this once, okay? I promise to give you an even happier life, Carter pleaded, unwilling to give up, a flicker of hope in his eyes. Marcus squeezed my hand tightly, as if giving me strength. I stood on my tiptoes and kissed his cheek, reassuring him. Then, I turned and looked seriously at Carter, saying, I gave you 5 years, and none of that made me trust you. Why would you think I'd believe your sudden change of heart now? Carter, for the rest of my life, I will only love my husband, Marcus. You and I have no connection whatsoever anymore. Because he has already given me the future I desired, I stated firmly, my eyes filled with resolve. Carter looked at me in disbelief. I deliberately flaunted the wedding rings on my hand, shared with Marcus, their sparkling brilliance seeming to speak of our happiness. Marcus added just at the right moment, thanks, pal. Without you messing things up badly, I never would have met such a wonderful wife as Luna. After saying that, he deliberately leaned down and gave me a long, lingering kiss, as if announcing our love to Carter. Carter let out a shriek, provoked, appearing like a madman to everyone else. To escape Carter's unreasonable behavior, Marcus took me on our honeymoon the very next day. During our honeymoon, he attentively accompanied me on boat trips, letting me feel the sea breeze and the crashing waves. He also thoughtfully captured many beautiful moments for me, documenting our sweet time together. That month, I was incredibly happy, as if floating on cloud nine. I heard from friends that Carter and Tiffany had completely fallen out. After was released, all her other boyfriends had abandoned her, leaving only Carter, who had once been so devoted to her, making it easy for her to latch onto him again. Even their warmer friends awkwardly started speaking up for Tiffany. "Luna's married anyway. You used to like Tiffany so much, why don't you just get together with her?" This enraged Carter so much that he flipped a table, his disgust for Tiffany reaching its peak. Seeing that persuasion wouldn't work, Tiffany used her pregnancy as leverage and brought the matter to the Hayes family elders. The family elders found the situation utterly humiliating and pressured Carter to marry her. However, Carter showed immense resistance towards Tiffany. Even when Tiffany chased him to his office and sabotaged his work, the marriage couldn't be finalized. Carter made a harsh declaration at home: "If you keep forcing me to marry her, I won't look for a job anymore. I'll just stay home and rot away." In the end, the marriage never came to fruition. Tiffany's family, having lost face, moved away with her overnight. Carter finally found some peace, but then began obsessively collecting remnants of me. Even my old, worn-out toothbrush was kept by him, cherished like a treasure every day. His parents, fearing something might happen to their son, called me, hoping I could talk some sense into him. Marcus took the call and calmly uttered 3 words: "He deserves it." I watched him with amusement, and he, slightly flustered, asked, "You're not still thinking about him, are you?" I pinched his cheek and laughed. "With a handsome husband like you right in front of me, why would I think about him? I just feel like, if only I had met you sooner, I wouldn't have gone through so many detours," I said wistfully, my eyes full of anticipation for the future. He pulled me into a tight embrace and tenderly said, "From now on, every second of my life belongs to you. We still have a lifetime to share." His words were like warm sunshine, illuminating my heart. I clung to him just as tightly, never wanting to let go, as if releasing him would mean losing this hard-won happiness. On the last day of our honeymoon, our return tickets had been changed to flights abroad. The previous wedding had too many regrets. "I want to give you a more perfect one," Marcus said deeply. "And, in this country, if you get a marriage license in this country, where divorce is not allowed." His words stirred something within me, as if I could see our beautiful future life together. After landing, I was surprised to find that he had already prepared everything. My family and friends had all been paid for everyone's travel expenses to be there. Amidst the cheers of those surrounded by our loved ones, Marcus, dressed in formal attire, walked towards me. He looked at me with deep affection and said, "Whether in poverty or wealth, in sickness or in health, I will always stand by Luna." Amidst the cheers, he and I embraced tightly, as if the entire world consisted only of the two of us. On our way back, I finally couldn't resist asking him when he had started to like me. He paused, then looked at me earnestly and said, "Actually, I've liked you for a very, very long time, but back then, you only had eyes for Carter." His eyes were full of sincerity and tenderness, making me feel his deep love. I knew I had found the one who truly loved me, and we would walk through life hand in hand, creating our own happiness together. My eyes widened instantly, my heart pounding like waves against the shore, filled with shock and disbelief. I quickly and eagerly pressed him about what this story, which I had never heard before, truly was. Usually, he wore a serious, unsmiling, and rigid expression, as if nothing in the world could move him. But at that moment, his stern demeanor, as if by magic, suddenly turned playful, the corners of his mouth curving upwards, his eyes sparkling with mischief. He slowly leaned down, close to my face, his warm breath like a gentle spring breeze against my ear, carrying a hint of flirtation and tease. "If you really want to know this story, shouldn't I get a reward?" Before I could react, he gently cupped my face, and a fervent, lingering kiss descended like a storm. That kiss, with his unique warmth and scent, instantly enveloped me. However, I now understood that this mysterious story was like an endless book, and I had a lifetime to slowly decipher and savor it. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section. Feel free to share your opinions. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.